Hi, this is Vaishali Adwant. I own the brand Paparazzi and People Productions. And my rabbit cookie has given me a topic to talk about how to experience personal growth with childishness. So, these are my original insights and thoughts. There's so much fuss about maturity as you grow, but I feel that, in the name of maturity, we end up losing a lot of fun. In the name of self control, we have to experience emotional pain. So, if you're especially a person who likes to use your potential to your fullest, I think everybody should have a bit of childishness in them to be able to open up their minds to creative thinking and creative thinking, so that when you deal with different situations and when you have no choice but condition your mind to deal with that kind of stress and anxiety, dealing with toxic people at places of work or in your personal life, you feel that you have to stay calm and composed, and you have to control your emotions instead of letting it out. But you don't see the amount of emotional damage you're causing to yourself by controlling your emotions. Just let it out. Why? I mean, who has laid these rules of civilization that you have to stay calm and composed under stress? No. Staying calm and composed under stress in stressful situations can lead to not just emotional damage, but it's also spoils your uh, chance of using your potential to your fullest. We are so used to conditioning our minds to give our best even under stress. This is what the mantra of most of the corporate world is. But you can only function under stress. What you're doing to your life day and night, dealing with toxicity and different kinds of attitudes, is that you're conditioning your mind just to be able to function, not at optimal levels. So that's why I say childishness, bachpana, these things are really important regardless of your age. And I like the way we millennials are. We do not follow any path, we do our own thing. We are neither like Gen Z's nor we are like our elders. We still enjoy our life even in being in our 40s or 50s. So don't I feel that if you really want to experience personal growth, childishness is essential, because when you're being matured, when you're conditioning your mind to always look matured and say mature wisecrack things, you know uh, so because you have to stay in line of the society. Who has created these rules of civilization? Is there a law that you have to stay calm and composed under stressful situations? Just let it out. Give people peace of your mind if they are stressing you out. Why do you have to put a facade of sophistication and civilization? Because if that's going to cause a lot of damage to your mind and emotions and mental potential in the long run, because you don't know how controlling your emotions can actually cause a lot of emotional pain. It's not, you know, healthy, especially for creative fields or any field that requires critical thinking, making, out of the box thinking. So, childishness is important, playfulness is important. This is what I feel. If you want to experience personal growth and if you want to use your complete mental capacity to the fullest, you will come up with better situations of handling people and difficult and complex situations in life, because this pretense of maturity is something that I myself find a certain kind of mental uh, agony that you're putting yourself through. Don't condition your mind to control your emotions. Don't control your emotions. Why do you want to control your emotions? I mean, if empathy is one thing, if you want to express a negative opinion about someone without hurting their feelings, that is one thing. But Self control in stressful situations where you have to compel yourself and condition your mind to stay calm and composed. Why do you have to be calm and composed when someone is stressing you out? No, that is a very wrong way of dealing with situation, and that's going to do a lot of harm to yourself, and you will not experience any personal growth when in most of the work environments it's become a way of life for a lot of people in this world to deal with toxicity and horrible attitudes, horrible bosses, horrible colleagues. But why do we are not living and earning to put ourselves through that kind of stress and live robotic lives every day? We are here to enjoy. We are here to enjoy our work. If you wake up every day and feel very stressed that you have to go to a place of work, thinking you have to deal with horrible bosses, horrible colleagues, work stress, that's not the kind of life you should really sign yourself up for. So, this, I'm just not talking workplace environment, but any kind of situation where the other person, where you're in a situation where manipulative tactics are used while you're being honest, and all kinds of tactics are used to put you down. You don't have to stay calm and composed. Just let it out, scream, shout. Let that person understand that you're not here to put up with bullshit. If that is going to come across as childishness, so be it. But it's going to lead to your personal growth because you will not allow that kind of harm happen to you. You're going to let it out. You're going to put people in their place. There are a lot of reels and there are a lot of counselors who tell you how to handle the situation with sophistication. It's not a world where a lot of people understand decency anymore. So you have to put them in their place in the way they need to. If they understand decent language, well and good. But if they don't, then you can be a childish self. Throw some tantrums. Why not? What's wrong in throwing tantrums because you want the best for yourself? Throw tantrums. Because if you have the potential and if you have already proven your ability that you deliver very high standard of work, throw tantrums. Be childish. Be playful. So that's what is going to lead to personal growth. This whole nonsense about maturity, sounding like a wisecrack in tough situations. Few tough situations don't deserve calm and composure. Not every situation deserves calm and composure. Work under pressure. Kyun bhai? Why work under pressure? We don't want to work under pressure. We want to work in nice environment because we want to give our best. So that should be, if that is your attitude, then you can bring out the best in yourself and you can consciously choose good people in your life and good environment in your life because you're not consciously willing to take bullshit from anyone. Therefore, you're choosing your life, the best things for your life and your own people by not pretending to be matured and enduring a lot of nonsense in the name of maturity. You don't have to be a martyr. You don't have to play that kind of self-sacrificing. You don't have to sacrifice your happiness, for the sake or for the pretense of being civilized. If the other person does not have empathy or does not value your emotions and violates your basic right to live, violates your privacy, violates your whatever, I mean, if they're crossing the line, being adults, if they're crossing your line, then you also have to show a different side of yourself without sounding mature. No, we don't need maturity in every situation. So be childish if you want to experience personal growth instead of hiding in the pretense of maturity. Nobody's giving you a civil award for being very civilized. It's not needed. Raise your voice where you have to raise your voice. And throw tantrums. Only if you deliver very high standards of work. Focus on your skills. Focus on how you can make the best of yourself instead of, controlling your emotions all the time. When you have to deal with such people, you always have to control your emotions. No. This whole nonsense of controlling your emotions at places of work, just because you want to project yourself as a very calm and composed person, is someone giving you an award for doing that. You're doing harm to yourself. So I think I've made my point very clear of about how childishness can lead to personal growth and can not just lead. What do I mean by personal growth here is you're consciously choosing nicer people who care about your emotions, who care about your potential. So by childishness and by saying no to any kind of nonsense in the name of maturity, you're doing yourself good. So that's how it's leading to personal growth. I hope I've made my point very clear, and I hope you like my reviews and insights. Thank you very much.